Is your next smartphone, your crucial business laptop, or even your child's gaming console going to shatter your budget? Are vital sectors like healthcare, education, and small businesses finding themselves caught in a vice, forced to choose between essential technological advancement and crippling costs? The year 2025 is undeniably charting a course towards unprecedented pressure on the global tech hardware market, a perfect storm brewed from escalating international tariffs, persistent trade policy uncertainties, and the insatiable demands of the artificial intelligence revolution is making landfall. What does this confluence of factors truly mean for your personal finances, your access to cutting-edge technology, and the fundamental ways we innovate, work, and interact? TrendPulse investigates the 2025 tech squeeze. Welcome to TrendPulse. We're peeling back the layers on a complex crisis gripping the tech world, the dual-edged sword of volatile global trade policies, particularly the stark reality of newly imposed and potential future tariffs, and the relentless, exponential advancements in artificial intelligence that necessitate increasingly powerful and consequently more expensive hardware. Picture this. The automotive industry simultaneously facing a critical shortage of high-performance engines just as consumer demand for supercars explodes. That's a close analogy to the current tech predicament. As a recent industry analysis from the first quarter of 2025 bluntly stated, for major PC makers, the added tariff costs could now equal almost their entire annual profit, leaving the strategy of raising end-user prices as the most viable, if painful, path forward. We'll be dissecting this with hard data, insights from industry veterans, and first-hand accounts from those navigating these turbulent waters. Let's first meticulously examine the tariff turmoil that defines 2025. The global stage for essential tech components and finished goods, from the intricate processors at the heart of our smartphones and the powerful GPUs driving next-generation AI and immersive gaming to the everyday workhorse laptops and critical server infrastructure, is increasingly a minefield of import taxes. Consider the direct impact. As of early 2025, a significant 20% tariff on a wide array of Chinese-manufactured tech products, including many popular laptops and smartphones, became fully effective. What does this translate to in tangible terms for consumers and businesses? Reports from sources like Tom's Hardware earlier this year projected that new tariffs could inflate tech prices by a staggering margin, in some cases up to 70%. For instance, the latest gaming consoles, already a significant investment, could see their prices surge by an additional $428 per unit. Even desktop computers, many of which are assembled with components from various countries, including Mexico, are not immune, potentially facing effective tariff-driven price hikes that add around $287 to an average retail cost that was already climbing. And it's not just the big-ticket items. Displays and monitors could see tariffs effectively adding 32% or over $100 to their price tag. Businesses are acutely feeling this squeeze. An IT procurement director for a multi-state logistics firm recently shared with us our planned 5-year server infrastructure refresh, budgeted at $1.2 million, is now looking at an additional $180,000 in tariff-related costs alone. We're now in a difficult position, forced to either delay critical upgrades needed for our expanding AI-driven analytics or seek emergency budget reallocations. This narrative is alarmingly common across diverse sectors. Financial institutions, bound by stringent regulatory compliance that demands robust, up-to-date technology, are facing similar dilemmas. The ripple effects are profound, with logistics analysts noting a concerning trend. We've observed cargo shipment volumes of key electronic components from some Asian manufacturing hubs to US ports declining by as much as 40 to 60% in certain weeks of the first and second quarters of 2025 compared to previous year averages, signaling significant ongoing supply chain disruptions and scarcity. This aligns with broader observations from the World Economic Forum, which noted in its 2025 Global Risks Report that geoeconomic confrontation, manifesting as tariffs and investment screening, remains a significant and tangible risk to global economic stability. Now, let's introduce the second powerful current into this storm, the AI accelerator. The explosive growth and integration of artificial intelligence from generative AI models, capable of creating sophisticated text, code, and imagery, to AI algorithms enhancing medical diagnostics with unprecedented accuracy, and AI powering the next wave of autonomous vehicles and smart city infrastructure, is generating an almost insatiable global demand for more powerful, highly specialized, and often custom-architected hardware. We're talking about the latest generation of GPUs from Nvidia and AMD, dedicated NPUs, neural processing units, embedded in everything from smartphones to edge computing devices and vast high-density server farms cooled by complex liquid systems. And here's the critical intersection with trade policy. Many of these cutting-edge components, or the rare earth minerals and sophisticated subcomponents required to manufacture them, are directly or indirectly impacted by the very tariffs we've just detailed. This creates a potent multiplier effect on final hardware costs. As technology strategists at Morningstar have highlighted, while some broader categories like personal computers might have seen temporary tariff exemptions on certain semiconductor inputs, the highly specialized nature of AI-enabling hardware means that any tariffs on their unique components or on the machinery needed to produce them will inevitably inflate the cost of AI deployment. This isn't just about the multi-million-dollar AI supercomputers. Even consumer-grade devices marketed with AI capabilities will see their prices reflect this increased component cost, as manufacturers worldwide scramble for a limited and now artificially more expensive supply of these advanced chips. The AI revolution, which promises to democratize incredible new capabilities, now faces the risk of becoming significantly more expensive to access and scale, potentially widening the digital and economic divide. So, how are individuals, businesses, and entire industries attempting to navigate this profoundly challenging environment? For the average consumer, the choices are becoming increasingly complex and financially burdensome. Online tech forums and social media are awash with anxious queries. Is Q3 2025 going to be an even worse time to build a new PC? Or should I invest in repairing my 3-year-old tablet? Or will prices for new models potentially stabilize next year? Some market analyses, like a widely cited study from IDC in early 2025, indicated that the persistent uncertainty surrounding future tariff implementations actually triggered waves of anticipatory buying for certain categories like high-end laptops and specific networking gear, with sales volumes spiking dramatically as consumers and small businesses tried to lock in prices before further increases. Conversely, many are now consciously extending the operational life cycle of their existing devices, investing more in repairs and software optimizations, or turning to the rapidly growing refurbished market for more affordable alternatives. For businesses and larger organizations, the strategic playbook is undergoing a radical transformation. The much-discussed China Plus One sourcing strategy is no longer a theoretical concept, but an urgent operational imperative for many, leading to accelerated investments in manufacturing and assembly partnerships in countries like Vietnam, Mexico, India, and even Eastern European nations. However, as one supply chain consultant noted, while nearshoring and reshoring offer long-term resilience, the transition is fraught with challenges, including establishing new quality control protocols, navigating different regulatory environments, and often higher initial labor or setup costs. Some companies are undertaking costly product redesigns to engineer out reliance on heavily tariffed components, a process that can take many months, if not years, and doesn't always guarantee comparable performance. According to a recent survey by the Consumer Technology Association, a significant percentage of their member companies reported they are absorbing a portion of the increased tariff costs to maintain market share. But they also cautioned that this is eroding R&D budgets and delaying new product introductions. There's also an undeniable strategic pivot towards software, cloud services, and subscription models. The thinking is clear. If the physical hardware is becoming a volatile, lower-margin commodity, then sustainable growth and profitability must increasingly come from the value delivered through proprietary software, AI-driven cloud services, and recurring revenue streams that are less directly exposed to the whims of hardware tariffs and supply chain disruptions. Here at TrendPulse, as we synthesize these multifaceted global trade dynamics, rapid technological evolutions, and significant economic pressures, several critical and largely unanswered questions demand our attention. Will national governments and international trade bodies begin to seriously reevaluate the broad application of these tariff strategies, especially as their tangible impacts, from strained IT budgets in essential public services like healthcare and education, to a potential chilling effect on grassroots innovation and small business growth, become more glaringly obvious? Can the pace of innovation in semiconductor manufacturing, new material sciences, or alternative chip architectures realistically outrun or mitigate these politically induced cost escalations in the medium term? And perhaps the most profound question, how will this evolving technological landscape, increasingly characterized by higher entry costs, more fragmented and potentially less reliable supply chains, and the strategic hoarding of critical components, ultimately affect digital equity, inclusive growth, and global access to the essential technologies that now underpin modern economies and societal participation? The very digital tools that promise to connect our world and unlock human potential are becoming more expensive and, for many, less accessible. The full societal and economic repercussions of this trend are only just beginning to unfold. We are eager to hear your first-hand experiences and considered perspectives. Are you a consumer who has recently faced a shocking price tag for a much-needed tech upgrade? Are you a business leader, an IT professional, or an entrepreneur grappling with these new budgetary realities and the daunting uncertainties of the global supply chain? What innovative solutions, coping mechanisms, or emerging trends are you observing in your field or community? Please share your valuable insights and experiences in the comments section below. And of course, ensure you are subscribed to TrendPulse for our ongoing in-depth investigations into the critical technological forces that are profoundly reshaping our collective future.